Welcome back to Thyroid Strong Podcast, the podcast for high-performing women with Hashimoto's who want to lift heavy, heal the root causes, and feel strong without the crash. I'm Dr. Emily Kiberd. I'm a chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner. Today, we are diving into one of my favorite functional medicine conversations, how the seasons affect your thyroid, adrenals, energy. Fall is a time of transition, and for many women with Hashimoto's, it can feel like a burst of motivation followed by a quick burst of burnout. The kids go back to school, the wind picks up, the air gets cooler, and there is this natural energetic shift. So let's talk about how to honor the seasonal shift and regulate your hormones and adapt your workouts to match your energy, this energetic shift, and not fight it and crash and burn like a dumpster fire. So fall is a season of change. The natural energetic lift from summer's slower pace. The kids are back in school. You may feel more productive, more focused, ready to move your body in a more energetic way, maybe push your workouts a little bit harder. There is a cortisol rhythm that can shift slightly earlier morning energy, but can go hand in hand with more afternoon crashes. So if you're not careful, here's what happens under the hood. As temperatures drop outside, your body starts working harder to maintain its core temperature. This can signal to your hypothalamus to increase TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, to then stimulate more production of T4 and ultimately T3, the active thyroid hormone. But with Hashimoto's, this compensatory response can often feel sluggish or dysfunctional. TSH may increase slightly, but the conversion from T4 to T3 may still be suboptimal due to inflammation, potential nutrient deficiencies, or just the stress of going from summer to fall. That means you might feel colder, more fatigued, like your metabolism is slowing, even if your labs look quote unquote normal. On the adrenal side of things, cortisol output may rise in the morning, which it should, when you first wake up, with a seasonal push of productivity, school year transitions, and as we get into November, holiday prep. But if you've been in a state of chronic stress, this initial rise can lead to a steeper crash in the afternoon, or just a rise throughout the day, or just total adrenal flatlining by the wintertime. So your body is adapting to darker days, cooler temperatures, changing routines. This is not a time to burn the candle at both ends and override any sort of calm moments in your day with more hustle. And here's a pattern I see all the time. You get this little burst of energy, like, let's get this shit done energy. You say yes to all the things. You put more on your plate, even though that's what you do as a mom and as a woman with Hashimoto's. You push your body just a little too hard, and then boom, you are sick. Whether it's a cold or a sinus infection or a Hashi flare-up. Fall tends to reveal the consequences of burning the candle both ends and overextending yourself. I used to feel this all the time. Back in the day, I was training for the New York City Marathon, doing, I think it's like the 9+1, where you run 9 races and you volunteer at 1. Most of those races are in the fall. And oh my God, if I just pushed myself a little too hard, or if I felt the energy of a race and my adrenal went up, I would crash for 3 days afterwards. So common Hashimoto symptoms in the fall that can increase due to the shift in weather, coldness, the circadian rhythm, our natural circadian rhythm, this changes in light, more dryness in the skin, and creakiness, feeling, or joint pain in the joints. Seasonal depression or mood swings as daylight shortens, flare-ups from mold, which can increase from moisture indoors as we spend more time indoors as the weather gets colder, increased sensitivity to cold, possibly an uptick in fatigue if adrenals are taxed from back to school, new routines, or overtraining. And here's the red flag. If you're pushing hard and starting to feel wired, irritable, or inflamed, you might be ignoring these seasonal cues that you're just burning the candle at both ends, and even more in the fall. So how do we adjust our workouts for the fall? Fall is a great time to recommit to strength training, but it needs the right strategy. So bring back structure and routine with 3 days of lifting a week. I like to shorten workouts. If you've been doing more than 30-minute workouts, doing like a 30 to 35-minute workout max. Heavy, but not high volume. I like to add 1 to 2 walks outdoors just for circadian rhythm support, especially in the morning when your face is exposed to the sun, and can help regulate your natural circadian rhythm and your natural cortisol rhythm. More rest between sets to support adrenal recovery and just recovery overall. And avoid adding too much high intensity interval training or intense cardio if you're not sleeping or if you're waking up tired. Fall workouts should build resilience. They should not break you down, ladies. I will say that again. Fall workouts should build you up, not break you down. In terms of nutrition and lifestyle tweaks for the fall, warm, grounding foods. No more salads or raw foods, ladies. Soups, stews, roasted root veggies, perfect for the fall. More cooked versus raw, and I'd find this in general with the Hashi ladies. They just do better with cooked foods over raw foods to support digestion, especially as temperatures drop. And if you're eating tons of raw foods, like lots of salads, it's just harder on your body to digest and break that down. Increasing healthy fats like olive oil, grass-fed ghee for skin and hormonal health. Prioritizing protein, 30 grams per meal minimum. This should really be all year round, not just in the fall, but I just wanted to throw that in just in case. Supporting your adrenals with electrolytes, blood sugar balance with eating your protein. And if you like to use adaptogens, phosphatidylserine can help regulate your adrenal output, especially if it's too high. But I always like to do a very personalized adrenal protocol for energy using a 4-point salivary cortisol test as a guide to then guide supplementation. Circadian support. So in the morning, first hour of the day, getting sunlight on your face, dimming the lights at night, avoiding screen time 1 hour before bed to preserve that melatonin production when you are looking at a screen. That blue light is shining into your eyes, telling you it is like the sun, and it will actually suppress your melatonin production. So turning off that screen will help preserve that melatonin production. How do I support my clients in the fall? In my Thyroid Strong functional medicine coaching, here's how I guide clients during the fall season. We run updated labs to check TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and the 2 antibody tests, TPO and thyroglobulin antibodies. And we also run a 4-point salivary cortisol test to see how their cortisol is doing. We will adjust training intensity based on their adrenal capacity. So if they're feeling more tired, we are going to switch up potentially a 4-day upper-lower split to a 3-day full body schedule. We introduce seasonal gut support, especially if there's histamine flares from allergies, fall allergies, or from any sort of mold exposure or allergies. We set up routines that honor productivity, but still allow you to rest and restore your body. So proper rest days, building in nervous system regulation throughout the day. I like to use Your Daily Health app. And then we use the season's energy to build, but not burn out. This is the perfect time to reset, rebuild, lift heavy, but in a smart way. So not necessarily harder, but smarter. If you want a customized plan for how to adapt your thyroid, your adrenals, your workouts to match the season you're in, and not just the goals you have, let's see how we can work together. You can apply for my one-on-one Thyroid Strong functional medicine coaching. There's a link in the show notes. We'll jump on a call, see if we're a good fit, and then we're off to the races. You are strong, ladies. Fall is a season to rise and rebuild and create new things with that energy without burning out. So let's make that happen. I'll see you next time. Thyroid Strong Podcast. If you like this podcast, send it to a friend, rate and review on your favorite podcast platform, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts.